Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. Are we bears or are we still bullish? Well, let's go over it because the numbers never lie, and there were quite a few analysts that were predicting a $30,000 Bitcoin. I thought it was going to go for 33, but it went down to 30 and then it bounced back. But what will happen next? Is it over? Is there still more to go? Are we bearish or are we bullish? You decide, because ultimately it is your own research and your own analysis that will determine how you handle this. However, let's look at Bitcoin's historical corrections over time. So we're talking about since the beginning of time. So since the beginning of time, we've had a 42.9% drop in a day. We've had a 56.3% drop. We've had 32, we've had 35s, we've had 49.9s, we've had 80s in the 80s a couple of times. So 3 times where the value dropped by over 83.6%. And yesterday we had an 51.1% drop. So 64,706 in this particular currency that this was drawn. 31,663 was the final number by the end of it. So that is between April 14, 2021 and May 17, 2021. So incredible. What has occurred, what has happened, and yesterday's drop, was in the almost 50%. It was like a 49% drop. But what does it all mean? Is it over? I'll tell you what. 1.1 million people yesterday sold. 1.1 million people sold their cryptocurrency yesterday. Astonishing numbers. Absolutely astonishing numbers. So Reuters, they tweeted this saying, Bitcoin is for now worst of all financial worlds, saying, compared to the stock market, compared to this, compared to that, Bitcoin's, crushed itself yesterday. And then, some people say, what it's like to trade Bitcoin, they're posting things like this. And it was full of this yesterday, it was everywhere, and of course, look at panic brings panic, and I understand it is very, very stressful what has happened. So I do empathize with you, but we're not in a bear market, and I believe that very much. So China cracked down, sparked the Bitcoin crash, and could feed a backlash, So China came out yesterday. Some institutional foundations of China said, nah, we're not selling this to our investors anymore. We don't believe in it. We're out, and that just triggered a tsunami of people selling. But when there's a lot of people selling, there are also people buying, and a lot of people did. A lot of people bought, and they bought heaps right at the bottom, and so they cashed in on $30,000 Bitcoin, 8 cents V-chains, 80 cents XRPs. So clever, very, very clever. And was it manipulation? I believe it is, but I'd love to know in the comments what you think, what your thoughts are. But the talk of the town, and on every news channel, we've got Australian news talking about it this morning. Everyone is talking about the crash, how much it dropped, the velocity of how much it dropped. It lost 70 billion in the market in 24 hours. It lost 70 billion. I mean, that is some serious money that has come out of the system, and so these are huge numbers. So what do the Bollinger Bands, what do the RSIs, what do the moving averages tell us? Let's have a look at that, and then let's make our own assumption of what is happening. All right, so now that we're in a tiny, let's first start off with the daily chart. So this is on the daily chart. As you can see, the Bollinger Bands are completely out. It's just completely gone out of there. The MACD, we can see the blue, dropping further down, and the orange, being separated. But on the RSI, we can see that we are in heavily oversold. We are in massive oversold territory in the on the RSI. So that's one aspect, but let's have a look at a couple of other scenarios. So let's have a look on the hourly chart, what has been going on there. So on the hourly chart, we can see that in the Bollinger Band, we touched that Bollinger Band, we went out of it, we came back up. We came back up to 39, then we're back down again, and we're touching that again, and now we're up. But if we see that the MACD on here, we can actually see that, that it's flipped. So on the hourly, it's actually flipped now to an upside, and on the RSI as well, it's flipped. So that's very interesting from an hourly perspective. And then from the 2-hour perspective, We can look at this, again, we touched the Bollinger Band perfectly, and now we're coming back up. The blue and the yellow are about to cross over. So the hourly have crossed over. On the 2 hours, not yet. And then if we look at the 4 hourly, that hasn't crossed yet. And then if we go again to the daily, it's still yet to cross. So there is still quite a bit to go before it begins again a positive outlook and a positive movement to higher numbers. So very, very fascinating, very interesting what is going on right now. And for me, I think, again, I believe it was a manipulation, and I think that this is all coming back. What's really, really important right now is that weekly candle. So what is Bitcoin going to close Sunday night? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a $46,000 Bitcoin by Sunday night. And if we close above 46,000, then we are indeed yet again still in the bull run. And this was a speed bump along the road. So what occurred yesterday was the first $10,000 move on a single day. So it did move $10,000 in a single day. It was monstrous, what occurred. November 29, 2017 was the first $10,000 move on a single day. April 10, 2013, the first $100 move. June 11, 2011, the first $10 move, and then April 30, the first dollar move on a single day, back all the way back to, 2011. But today was the first $10,000 move on a single day. What does that tell us? It tells us that the bigger Bitcoin gets, the bigger it falls before it, continues its rally. So the sell-offs are becoming more violent and stronger. So could we see a $28,000 Bitcoin? Judging by this particular formation, that could be a possibility. So, we hit 30, bounce back to 40. People think, okay, all good, we're in the clear. Boom, one more squash, and then it begins again. So look out for that, because that could be very, very much what is happening. So what can we expect? Are we at the end? I don't believe that we are at the end. I think we are still very much in a bullish phase, and this manipulation in a couple of weeks' time will be forgotten. But what do you think? I would love to know your thoughts about how you feel about the whole thing. Where is it all going? Are we bearish or are we bullish? You decide. Let me know in the comments. If you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you also very much for the love, passion, and support that you do show the channel. And if there is anything that I can do, do not hesitate to call, message, and let me know if there's any way that I can help. Of course, it's very stressful times, what occurred yesterday, and if there's anything that Crypto Serpent can do to help, just let me know. Thank you. We'll see you next time.